Hi, I'm Chuck Greenslade with WNXT Radio in Portsmouth. The Del Rice Baseball League has long been a staple of our community, providing an opportunity for baseball enthusiasts to play throughout the summer months. For some of the teenagers who participate in the league, Del Rice gives them the chance to hone their skills as they prepare for the upcoming high school season. For the adult players, it allows them to continue to play the game they've grown to love. Whether it be a 16-year-old preparing for his junior season or a 68-year-old like Bob Bryson, the Del Rice Baseball League is virtually all-encompassing. It allows for high school teammates to continue working together after their high school season. It enables fathers and sons to actually take the field as teammates. And most importantly, the Del Rice Baseball League gives people a chance to have fun. In 2020, in the midst of a coronavirus pandemic, being provided an opportunity to get out, interact with others, and have fun are basic elements of life that are probably more appreciated than ever before. If anyone ever took those rights for granted, their significance was certainly reiterated in the summer of 2020. For the third year, WNXT Radio has had the privilege of broadcasting the Del Rice Championship game live from Branch Rickey Park in Portsmouth. This season's matchup would pit Team Harry C. Shope against the River Cities Builders, a rematch from 2019. Team Shope entered the game hoping to win the league for the second straight year. River Cities Builders, meanwhile, rolled into the contest with an unblemished mark, looking to cap off a perfect season. When these two teams hooked up on Saturday, August 8th, the weather could not have been more beautiful, and the game was extremely competitive early on. However, as the contest wore on, Team Shope would eventually pull away to claim an 11-3 victory and win the league crown yet again. Over the next couple of hours, we will recap how the game transpired and tell you how Team Shope captured the 2020 Del Rice League Championship. The 2020 Del Rice League consisted of 4 teams. Besides Team Shope and the River Cities Builders, Team Glockner and Team Desco also participated. The championship game was presented live on WNXT Radio by the David Irie Foundation, the Desco Federal Credit Union, and the Melcher Hammer Funeral Home. 2020 league sponsors included the family of Harry C. Shope, River Cities Builders, Desco, Glockner, and the Atomic Credit Union. I had the chance to speak with 2 of the late Harry C. Shope's children, his son David and daughter Angie. They both said, "It is very special to have the championship-winning team named after their father."
A team name that has become very well known in the Del Rice Baseball League over the past several years is the team of Harry C. Shope. Now 2-time league champions, they capped off the 2020 season with a perfect record, undefeated. Harry C. Shope. You hear the name, but do you know the gentleman? Well, with us to talk about the late Harry C. Shope are his children, David and Angie. David is with us now. David, for people who might not have had the pleasure of knowing your dad, tell us a little bit about the man.
He's always been fascinated with sports. He's played sports his whole life. He started playing baseball, I think, around late 40s and the 50s, and he played fast-pitch softball in the older leagues and slow-pitch softball as well. And if he wasn't playing the game, he was coaching the game, training people to play the game. He's always involved somehow, even if it's volunteering to help out. In Little League, Senior League, he also coached and volunteered with American Legion Baseball. He's also involved in the tri-state sports. That's Ohio, Kentucky, and West Virginia, of the older gentlemen that used to play in the past, to get them together and just talk about baseball and enjoy the times that they had.
Where did he go to high school?
He went to high school at South Webster, and he grew up in South Webster.
You mentioned that he coached at the Little League level among several other levels. Was it the South Webster community where he typically did most of his work with the Little Leagues?
Yes, the Little League he coached when I played, and when my sister played as well. He coached Little League baseball and softball in South Webster. And then Senior League was also in South Webster, and the American Legion that he coached was in Oak Hill. And he also coached a lot in Del Rice. After my college years, we played a bunch down there.
And when did we lose Mr. Shope?
He passed away in 2012.
Well, it is very awesome that the name is kept alive by having it attached to not only a Del Rice team, but a Del Rice team that has enjoyed a great deal of success. Now, you had shared with me in a previous conversation that your dad had a very unique baseball collection with autographs by local players. Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, anytime he would get a team together, he would always have the teams sign the baseballs. Even the team we play, he would have them sign the baseballs just to keep that memory around. And the one that I remember most is we actually played the Ohio Warhawks one year. They came down to the stadium and played us. And it was a really close game. We almost had them beaten until the last inning, and then they pulled it off.
Obviously, the baseball element of having Harry as your father was big in your family, but just in general, what was it like growing up with Harry as your dad?
It was great. He was always there for us when we needed him. He always pushed us to do our best. Even through school, I mean, he kept pushing, like, you have to be at school. Try not to miss. The more you're there, the more you know. And that basically followed us through to where we are now with working. We're always there when we need to be there, and he taught us that early on. We just continue to do that.
Great life lessons taught through sports, no doubt about it. Well, David, thanks so much for your time, and thanks for your continued support of the Del Rice Baseball League.
I appreciate it.
Also with us is Angie Shope, David's sister. And Angie, I'll ask you a couple of similar questions as to the ones I just asked your brother. First of all, having your father's name, Harry C. Shope, attached to a Del Rice League team, seeing that name out there in social media when Del Rice League games are talked about and reported upon and scores are given, hearing the name on the radio when we're talking about scores, just how special is it for a team to carry your father's namesake?
His love and passion and dedication for the game, it's just our way of honoring him and his name.
And he obviously had an extreme amount of love for the game of baseball and just for working with young people in general.
Yes, he, as far as I know, growing up, that's all he done, talked about even later on up until his passing, but that was always his passion.
Now, obviously, your brother played baseball. How about you? Were you an athlete as well?
Yeah, I played softball and basketball.
And I'm sure that your dad was just as interested in you playing those sports as he was the guys playing on the diamonds.
Oh, yeah. He pushed me just as hard as he did them.
I talked with your brother a short while ago about your dad's baseball collection that has all kinds of autographs of athletes around the area who have played on local teams and local leagues. That is rather cool that your dad thought so much of the people whom he interacted with through sports to get those autographs on those baseballs, which I know are essentially family heirlooms today. That's really neat.
Yeah, and he also did trophies, like any kind of sport issue. It was school functions. It didn't matter what it is. He was always getting us trophies for everything, and even other people that done a good job.
You know, I asked your brother a few moments ago what it was like growing up with Harry as your father. I'll ask you that same exact question. To be able to interact with someone like that on a daily basis and receive their guidance, what was that like for you growing up?
He was always there for us no matter what our decisions was. I mean, he supported us whether it was a good decision, bad decision, but we knew not to go the bad route because there was consequences. But overall, I mean, he was always there for everybody. He was loving, caring, just an overall good guy.
Well, I'm sure it's very cool for a Del Rice League team to bear his name. The fact that that team is so successful, that has to make it that much more special. It seems like Team Harry C. Shope wins every year. They went undefeated this year, and they won the league for the second straight season. That's got to be very, very special to have not only his name attached to a team, but attached to a good team.
Right, yeah, it means the world just knowing that. We're trying to talk David into getting back into it.
Bring out the cleats and come out of retirement, huh?
Yep.
Well, Angie, thank you so much for your time, and thank you to you and your family for continuing to support local baseball, local sports, and the Del Rice Baseball League. I'm sure your dad would be very proud of you. Thanks again.
All right, you're welcome, and thanks for giving us the time to do it.
Our pleasure.
The Del Rice Baseball League certainly appreciates David and Angie and the entire Shope family, keeping their father's name in the forefront of all of our minds by being sponsors of the Del Rice League. David Irie of the David Irie Foundation is another sponsor of the Del Rice League Championship game on Fox Portsmouth AM 1260 and 95.7 FM WNXT. He was unable to be present on game day, but he wrote, "This is our third year as a foundation. We raise money for spinal cord injury research and high school baseball and softball scholarships. This year, of course, we couldn't do anything because of the COVID-19 pandemic. The last 2 years, we have given away 10 scholarships, and we have sent money for clinical research at the Miami Project to cure paralysis. This is the leading research institute in the nation working to cure paralysis. We raise money by different fundraisers. We have the David Irie Foundation Showcase at Whitaker Bank Ballpark in Lexington each year, where different high school baseball teams from across the state play each other. We have the David Irie Foundation Day with the Cincinnati Reds each year, where we get a portion of the ticket sales to go to the foundation. We also do the Diamond Dinner in Maysville, where we bring in former Major League Baseball players to a banquet as a fundraiser. These are the main three fundraisers, but we have numerous smaller fundraisers throughout the year. You can stay up to date on our events by going to our foundation page on Facebook, which is the David Irie Foundation page, or you can go to our website, which is DIF35.org. That's DIF35.org. Those words again from David Irie of the David Irie Foundation, a proud sponsor of the Del Rice League. Another person who is very deserving of praise is Jason Arms. He has worked very hard over the last few years to ensure the success and continuation of the Del Rice Baseball League. Jason has been instrumental in getting the championship game broadcast each of the last 3 years on WNXT Radio. I certainly appreciate his efforts. He joined me in the booth this year, and we will hear from him a little later, as we will soon listen to how the last couple innings of the game sounded as it was called live on Fox Portsmouth AM 1260 and 95.7 FM. As mentioned earlier, the 2020 Del Rice League was made up of 4 teams. Let's meet them, beginning with the 2 teams not participating in the title game, Team Desco and Team Glockner. Making up the roster for Team Desco included Matt Phipps from Lucasville, who went to high school at Heritage Academy. He's a truck driver for Rumpke, and he has played in the Del Rice League for 1 year. Cody Wiltshire is a 22-year-old from Portsmouth. He too plays for Team Desco. Jacob Kilmar, a 23-year-old from Portsmouth who attended Notre Dame High School. He's currently a pre-med student at Shawnee State University. Tyler Spees is a 21-year-old from Lucasville. He attended Notre Dame. He's a full-time nursing student at SSU. 17-year-old Trenton Brown from Lucasville. He attends Eastern Pike High School. He's a pitcher. 47-year-old Bill Garrison from Jackson, Ohio. Also playing for Team Desco is 21-year-old William McGuire Garrison from Portsmouth, as well as 24-year-old Justin Scott from Peebles, 38-year-old Jason McNutt from Portsmouth, 16-year-old Hunter McNutt from Portsmouth, 25-year-old Brandon Scott, who lives in Portsmouth. He attended West High School. Gene Sanchez, a 56-year-old from Ashland, Kentucky, who went to high school in San Diego, California. 40-year-old Curtis Parker from Portsmouth. He went to Portsmouth High School and attended the University of the Cumberlands. He's been playing Del Rice for 4 years, and he works at the A plant. Brandon Lewis also plays for Team Desco, as does 34-year-old Billy Payne from Portsmouth. He went to Portsmouth High School and Muskingum University. He has been playing Del Rice ball for 17 years. He's a carpenter who says his greatest accomplishment is being a father to his 3-year-old son, Aiden. Mark Anthony Wade from Ashland, Kentucky is also a member of Team Desco. He's 26 years of age, went to Boyd County High School. He works at Glockner of Ironton. 46-year-old Rob Robson. He's a pharmacist who lives in West Portsmouth. He went to East High School and Branson, Missouri. He's one of the coaches for Team Desco. He's been playing in the league for 11 years. He says one of his biggest accomplishments is having a son grow up around the Del Rice Baseball League and being able to pass down his love and knowledge of the game. Elias Robson, a 17-year-old from West Portsmouth who attends Wheatersburg High School, is also on Team Desco. 26-year-old Dalton Kenyon plays for Team Desco. He lives in West Portsmouth and went to West High School. He's a security guard who has played Del Rice for 10 years. And the aforementioned Jason Arms. He's the head coach of Team Desco and president of the league. He's 41 years of age and lives in Chillicothe. He went to East High School, and he has been playing in the Del Rice League for 23 years. He's the longest tenured player in Del Rice history. Those are the players that made up Team Desco in 2020. Let's now meet Team Glockner. This particular team was made up of predominantly Latinos, so I will apologize ahead of time. Something tells me I'm going to butcher a few names, but I will try my best. The members of Team Glockner in 2020 were 34-year-old Francisco Gonzalez from Portsmouth, 47-year-old Herberto Barredos, 49-year-old Beto Mendez, 35-year-old Pablo Gomez, 31-year-old Douglas Machado, 30-year-old Barry Collins. He's a South Webster native who has been playing Del Rice for 10 years. 25-year-old Gustavo Amox from Portsmouth. 26-year-old Daniel Amox from Portsmouth. 28-year-old Fabian Talazolo from Portsmouth. 32-year-old Kiki Gomez. 29-year-old Urbano Amox from Portsmouth. 24-year-old Nathaniel Lee Wartluft from McDermott. 20-year-old Mason Book from West Portsmouth, 31-year-old Luis Jimenez from Portsmouth, and 42-year-old Carmelo Garcia from Wheelersburg. Those were the players that made up Team Glockner in 2020. Before we meet the two teams who competed in the championship game, we need to give a shout out to Kristen Starr. She's the secretary, treasurer, league mom, and photographer. She's a 29-year-old from Chillicothe who went to Tug Valley High School. She's a life insurance agent who has been associated with the Del Rice League for 2 years. She says her biggest accomplishments are her 2 beautiful children and her relationship with God. It's now time to meet the two teams competing for the championship. Team River Cities Builders and Team Harry C. Shope. Let's start by introducing the River Cities Builders. 68-year-old Bob Shag Bryson plays for this team. He's from Schultz Creek, Kentucky. He graduated from McKell High School in 1969. He's a retired teacher and coach. He has spent 54 seasons playing on the Schultz Creek field, one which he built and still maintains to this day. That field has hosted most of the Del Rice games the past 5 seasons. He's got a 4-0 pitching record this season and a 1.84 ERA. He started for the River Cities Builders in last year's championship game at the age of 67. The ageless wonder, Bob Bryson. Also playing for the River Cities Builders, Kyle Martin, a 29-year-old from Greenup County, Kentucky. He's a former Musketeer. During his playing days with the Muskies, he enjoyed great success. He was a member of a team that won 3 district titles, 07, 08, and 09. A couple of regional championships, 07 and 08. And his high school team went to the state Final 8 twice in 2007 and again in 2008. Greenup, Kentucky's David Bentley is on the River Cities Builders. He went to Greenup County High School and attended Transylvania University. He's a branch manager now at People's Bank, and he has been playing Del Rice ball for 5 seasons. 17-year-old Corey Jefferson plays for the River Cities Builders. He's from East Point, Kentucky, attends Paintsville High School, and he's a catcher who has been playing Del Rice League ball for 2 seasons. Other players making up the River Cities Builders are 21-year-old Isaiah Green from Greenup, Kentucky. He's gone to Shawnee State University and Kentucky Christian University. He's in the Carpenters Union. He has been playing Del Rice ball for 4 seasons. Jonathan McKenzie is a 20-year-old from Paintsville, Kentucky. He went to Paintsville High School. He currently attends the University of Pikeville. He has been a member of the Del Rice League for 3 seasons. In 2013, he played for the Junior League Kentucky State Champions. In 2018, his Paintsville Tigers were 15th region champs, and he was named as a member of the 2018 All-Region team. In 2020, he was the U-Pike Breakthrough Player of the Year. 21-year-old Chase Bass from South Shore, who attended Greenup County High School and went to Morehead State University, is also a member of Team RCB. He has been playing Del Rice ball for 4 seasons. 17-year-old Braden Nickel from South Shore is a Greenup County High School student. He plays for the River Cities Builders, as does 19-year-old Andrew Nickel, a South Shore, Kentucky native who attended Greenup County High School and currently attends Shawnee State. He has been playing in the Del Rice League for 4 years. 19-year-old Lincoln Howard from Schultz Creek, Kentucky is also on the squad. He went to Raceland High School and currently attends Wilmington College. This is his first year playing in the Del Rice League. 19-year-old Gunnar Preston from Paintsville, Kentucky, plays for the River Cities Builders, and he has been playing Del Rice ball for 3 seasons. 64-year-old Chuck Miraz is a member of the Del Rice Baseball League and a member of the River Cities Builders. He currently resides in Morehead, Kentucky. He's originally from Northbrook, Illinois. He went to Southern Illinois University, Carbondale. Chuck was a longtime broadcaster for the Morehead State University Eagles. A few years back, when the MSU Eagles upset Rick Pitino's Louisville Cardinals in the first round of the NCAA men's basketball tournament, Miraz was on the call for MSU. He's a 3-time winner of the Associated Press Best Play-by-Play Award. He has also broadcast the girls basketball Sweet 16 for the Kentucky High School Athletic Association. If there's anything that I do that doesn't sound good, blame him, because he was my instructor when I attended Morehead State University. Good to see Chuck out there playing at 64 years of age, and he still looks exactly the way he did 20 years ago. No joke. Rex A. Collins Jr. is a member of the River Cities Builders. He's a 47-year-old from Hager Hill, Kentucky. He attended Johnson Central High School and Morehead State University. He is a teacher who has been playing in the league for 4 years. So those are the gentlemen who make up the team of the River Cities Builders. Now let's meet Team Harry C. Shope. Justin Kraft, a 35-year-old from South Webster who was a former Jeep and a former Shawnee State Bear. He's currently an IT engineer. He has been playing for over 10 seasons in the league. While playing for SSU, he batted .300. He hit 12 home runs in his 4-year career at Shawnee State. He made a go at it professionally. He was cut from 2 spring training teams in the spring of 2010, the Cardinals and Marlins, but he made the effort to be there. Justin Kraft, a proud member of Team Harry C. Shope. Garrett Rollins is a 23-year-old from South Webster. He works for the Ohio Department of Transportation. He says his career highlight is striking out Jason Arms during the last game. I think that's a little good-natured ribbing there. Garrett says he has a rubber arm and can pitch for days. 43-year-old Terry Hall plays for Team Shope. He's from South Webster. He's the owner of Hall's Painting. He's been playing Del Rice League ball for 10 years off and on. Terry says he's very happy that he hasn't blown out his calf like he did last year. He's also pleased that his groin and hamstring are still intact, so he says. 37-year-old Sean Milligan plays for Team Shope. He lives in Wheelersburg. He attended Notre Dame High School and Marshall University. He's a family man with 4 children. He's currently a certified public accountant and has been playing in the Del Rice League for over 10 years. 53-year-old Roger Hall plays for Team Shope. He's from South Webster. He has been playing in the league 10 seasons. 21-year-old Alec Blevins plays for Team Shope. He's a South Webster native who attends Shawnee State University. Bradley G., a 22-year-old from Minford who went to South Webster High School, is also a member of the team. He's a member of the Carpenters Local 437 Union. He's been playing in the league for 3 seasons, and he is soon to be a daddy. 62-year-old Lonnie Kraft is a proud member of Team Shope. He's a South Webster man who works at the A plant. He has been playing Del Rice ball since the 1970s. 18-year-old Caleb Cunningham plays for Team Shope. He's from South Webster. He's a welder who has been playing in the league for 2 seasons. 45-year-old Mike Mershon is another team member. He's from South Webster, went to Berea College. He works for the Kenworth Truck Company, and he has been playing Del Rice League ball for 3 years. 24-year-old Dakota Yates from South Webster is an electrician who plays for Team Shope. This is his first year in the league. And 38-year-old Matt Kraft from Cincinnati is a member of Team Shope. He went to South Webster High School, so he is originally from the area. He attended Shawnee State University, and he is a computer programmer. He has been around Del Rice ball for 3 decades. He says his biggest accomplishment was playing college ball with his brother. With the Del Rice League Championship game being broadcast on the internet as well as over the airwaves, Matt wanted to give a big hello to his friends listening from Cincinnati. So those are the members of Team Harry C. Shope. Team Shope and the River Cities Builders getting ready to do battle in the championship game. The contest was aired live on Fox Portsmouth AM 1260 and 95.7 FM. It could also be heard on WNXT Sports using the TuneIn Radio app on your smartphone, as well as online at WNXTradio.com by then clicking the Fox Sports logo at the bottom of the homepage. The championship game was sponsored by the David Irie Foundation, the Desco Federal Credit Union, and the Melcher Hammer Funeral Home. Let's recap how it all went down when Team Shope squared off against the River Cities Builders. Weather was absolutely perfect. The beautiful day started with longtime umpire Matt Oren tossing out the first pitch. Some of the folks in attendance for the game included Cincinnati Reds legend Don Gullett and former Del Rice League player Bob Coons. Gullett's reputation with the Reds is known to most baseball fans. The South Shore area native has 4 consecutive World Series rings as a member of the Big Red Machine in 1975 and 76, then as a member of the New York Yankees in 77 and 78. Bob Coons is another gentleman with deep athletic ties to Greenup County. A former teacher and baseball coach at Greenup County High School, Bob has been a high school official for many years and was on the very first championship-winning team of the Del Rice League back in 1956. Team Shope would be the visiting team and bat first. 19-year-old Lincoln Howard, a Raceland High School product, would be the starting pitcher for the River Cities Builders. Team Shope center fielder Matt Kraft would lead off the game with a walk. Pitcher Justin Kraft would fly out to center, and Terry Hall would strike out. Team Shope would then begin a 2-out rally. Logan Crabtree would trot down to first after being hit by a pitch. Sean Milligan would then reach base on an error, and that same mishap would enable Justin Kraft to score the game's first run from second. Lonnie Kraft would strike out, ending the top half of the first. To the bottom of the opening inning we would go, getting our first look at the River Cities Builders offense. With Justin Kraft on the mound for Team Shope, David Bentley would lead things off for the River Cities Builders with a double. Drew Nickel would ground out to second. Chase Bass would come to the plate. He would smash the ball out to center field to score Bentley for the tying run, evening the score at 1. But Bass would get thrown out at third while going for a triple. With 2 outs and the score all knotted at 1, McKenzie would pop out to the catcher to close out the first inning. Bradley G. would get the top half of the second started for Team Shope with the single. Garrett Rollins would then walk. With no outs, G on second and Rollins on first, Alex Blevins would hit into a 6-4-3 double play, but G would manage to cross the plate for the go-ahead run. Back to the top of the order, Matt Kraft would strike out, ending the inning, but Team Shope would find itself up 2-1 heading into the bottom of the second. Corey Jefferson would start things out for the River Cities Builders with a walk. Isaiah Green would follow that up with a single. Team Shope would buckle down defensively, retiring the next three batters, Rex Collins, Kyle Martin, and Chuck Mraz. The River Cities Builders would leave two runners stranded and would trail 2-1 heading into the third. Team Shope's Justin Kraft would lead off the third inning with a single. Terry Hall would follow that up with a strikeout. Logan Crabtree would fly out to center for out number 2, and Sean Milligan would fly out to second for out number 3. Trailing by a run, the River Cities Builders would be at the top of their order to begin the bottom half of the third. Bentley would lead off with a double, Nickel would strike out for the first out, Bass would reach base on an error but would later get picked off at first for the second out. Team Shope pitcher Justin Kraft would then strike out McKenzie to end the inning. To the fourth we would go with the reigning league champions, Team Harry C. Shope, leading 2-1. The River Cities Builders defense was up to the challenge in the top half of the fourth inning as Team Shope went 3 up and 3 down. Lonnie Kraft would line out to third, Bradley G. would line out to short, and Garrett Rollins would strike out. In the bottom of the fourth, RCB would again try and chip away at a 2-1 deficit, but to no avail. The inning started with some promise when Jefferson singled, but Green would fly out, Collins would ground out, and Martin would strike out. On to the fifth, Team Shope's number 9 hitter would lead off the inning with his team ahead 2-1. Alex Blevins, who had a great day in the field working behind the plate as his team's starting catcher, was unable to parlay that success to the offensive side, striking out for the first out of the inning. That would bring on the top of the batting order, and Team Shope would get cooking. After being walked his first time up and striking out his second, Matt Kraft would finally get a hold of one for his first hit and would get on board with a single. Justin Kraft would follow that up with a double. With runners on second and third, the hits kept coming. Terry Hall would log a single, driving in Matt Kraft to make it 3-1 in favor of Team Shope. Logan Crabtree would record a single, driving in Justin Kraft. Milligan would then fly out to first for out number 2, and Lonnie Kraft would line out to short to end the inning. However, Team Shope did some damage, as those 2 runs scored in the top half of the fifth gave the defending champs a 4-1 advantage. To the bottom of the fifth we went, with the River Cities Builders now faced with an even greater uphill battle. Chuck Mraz would lead things off, lining out to short. Team RCB would then head to the top of the order and begin to mount a comeback. Leadoff man David Bentley singled to remain perfect on the day, 3 for 3. Drew Nickel would then hit a double to score the speedy Bentley, cutting Team Shope's lead in half at 4-2. Bass would then hit a single to place runners on first and third. McKenzie would strike out. Jefferson would walk to load the bases. A wild pitch would then allow Nickel to score, making it 4-3 in favor of Team Shope. Isaiah Green would ground out to the pitcher to end the inning, but the River Cities Builders would at least keep pace with Team Shope in the fifth. Each club scored 2 runs, making it 4-3 Team Shope, heading into the top of the sixth. Bradley G. would strike out to get the 6th inning underway, Garrett Rollins would walk, and Alex Blevins would strike out. Rollins would steal second to move into scoring position, and leadoff man Matt Kraft would deliver the goods with a 2-out RBI double, scoring Rollins to widen Team Shope's lead by a run, making the new score 5-3. Justin Kraft would then strike out to bring the top half of the 6th inning to a close. Rex Collins would lead off the bottom of the 6th, striking out. Martin walked. Chuck Mraz would hit into a fielder's choice. Martin would be tossed out at second, and Mraz would be left standing safe at first. Drew Nickel would then line out to second to bring the 6th inning to an end, with the score standing at 5-3 in favor of Team Shope. The team of Harry C. Shope would go down 1-2-3 in the top of the 7th. Terry Hall hit a fly ball to left field. Logan Crabtree grounded out to second, and Sean Milligan struck out. The River Cities Builders would then return to the plate, still trailing 5-3. Chase Bass led off, flying out to left field. McKenzie popped out to first. With the River Cities Builders at the plate in the bottom of the 7th inning, trailing 5-3, we will now hear the conclusion of the Del Rice League Championship game as it was heard live on Fox Portsmouth AM 1260 and 95.7 FM. Jason Arms and I have the call.
Catcher Jefferson steps into the batter's box, awaiting the delivery from Justin Kraft, and that pitch is off target, low and outside for ball number 1. Score remains 5-3 in favor of Team Shope, leading the River Cities Builders here in today's Del Rice League Championship game. And ooh, that little chin music there for Jefferson. He's only 17. I don't know if he's having to shave yet, but that one gave him a pretty close one. Ball number 2. All fun and games until you start messing with the moneymaker up there. Big smile. Here's strike number 1. 2-1 the count.
He's had the next one day today. He's been on base all 3 times. He walked twice and has a single.
Can he keep that streak intact? His team needing some runs, trailing by 2. In the bottom of the 7th inning of a 9-inning Del Rice League Championship game. This pitch was off target for a ball. 3-1 the count. And the delivery, it is ball number 4. So his streak is kept intact as 17-year-old catcher Jefferson, in 4 at-bats, has made it on base 4 different times. That's now his 3rd walk. Corey Jefferson from East Point, Kentucky, which is in the Paintsville School District. This is his 2nd year of playing Del Rice. Here comes Isaiah Green, the 21-year-old from Greenup, Kentucky. He awaits the pitch from Kraft, and he swings upon it. It is hit to left field. Is it going to stay fair? It does. And this could score a run. Jefferson, he's going to make it to 3rd. Green is safely in at 2nd. Jefferson's going to put on the brakes there. So now runners on 2nd and 3rd for the River Cities Builders. That would be the tying run on 2nd base, as 5-3 is the score. So another big-time moment coming up for the River Cities Builders. They left a lot of runners stranded in the early innings. Rex Collins Jr., the 47-year-old Johnson Central graduate, lives in Hager Hill, Kentucky, graduated from Morehead State University. He's a teacher who has been playing in the league for 4 years. He now steps into the batter's box, and boy, wouldn't a timely hit be big for Collins and the River Cities Builders. The right-handed batter awaiting the pitch from Justin Kraft. The delivery, it is right down the pipe for strike number 1. This is perhaps a very pivotal moment of this game, Jason.
Oh, yeah. If he puts a good swing on it right here, tied it up, but unfortunately went back to the pitcher, 1-3 put out.
That's it. So once again, the Achilles heel for the River Cities Builders, leaving runners stranded. For at least the 2nd time in this game, they leave 2 stranded, and at least for the 4th time in this contest, one of those runners was stranded on 3rd base. Oh, boy, looking back at this one, if Team Shope holds on to win, the River Cities Builders players are going to think back at all the missed opportunities throughout the course of this game. So the score remains 5-3 in favor of Team Shope. To the 8th inning we go. You are listening to the Del Rice League Championship game on Fox Portsmouth AM 1260 and 95.7 FM. We've got a lot of dignitaries who are with us here today, and we talked about a few of them earlier, Jason. Matt Oren threw out the first pitch. For 18 years, he has served as an umpire for the Del Rice League. Bob Coon, speaking of umpires, he has been a referee, an umpire, a former baseball coach at Greenup County High School. He was on the first championship team of the Del Rice League back in 1956. He's in attendance here today. Of course, we have 68 years young Bob Bryson. He is playing for the River Cities Builders. He's not been in the game yet, but he would love to get out there, I have no doubt. He has been a part of men's baseball leagues for, my goodness, decades here around the area. Chuck Miraz, 64 years of age, longtime voice of the Morehead State Eagles on radio. He is with us here tonight, or today, I should say, this afternoon. And again, we have Don Gullett, who is in attendance. He has had the pleasure of being at the last 3 Del Rice League Championship games, I know, and it was good to see Don Gullett a little earlier. So they have come out in full force for this one.
Yeah, definitely. It's definitely good to see every one of those guys that you mentioned, for sure. Just kind of keeps that spirit going, that we're trying to create out here.
We've talked about some of the guys who have incredible resumes and pedigrees and who have been around the block a time or two, but for some of your younger high school age kids, the ones who didn't enjoy their seasons, has this been a great experience for them? Because I know it was really heartbreaking for many of them not to be able to play for their high schools this spring.
Yeah, they a lot of them, they want that experience and, to play ball. I know that a lot of them were really itching to play. Fortunately, the travel ball started back up, and the Legion baseball as well. So a lot of those guys did go to play in those leagues, but we did get a few in our league to play this year, and I know that they were all, like I said, very excited.
One thing about baseball players and softball players, when referring to females, they love their sports. I mean, they truly, truly do. And the same can be said for football, basketball players, track and field stars, and so on and so forth. But there's just a different type of feeling, it seems like, with baseball and softball. They play it every day and 2 or 3 times a day, I think, if they could. Lonnie Kraft is going to lead off the 8th inning for Team Shope, and he's going to swing away at the second pitch delivered to him. The first one was a ball, if I'm not mistaken, so 1-1 is the count.
This is actually this is Caleb
Cunningham,
yeah,
another
Cunningham
number 14.
Batting in place of him.
Duplicate numbers will keep you on your toes, That's why you're around here, Jason. That's why I'm glad to have you alongside. Here's the ball. 2-1 is the count now. So who is Mr. Cunningham batting for?
Batting for Lonnie Kraft.
So 114 for another. Means Bradley G is on deck. Might we see both of these teams try to get some people in here over the last couple of innings that haven't played, or are they thinking of it as it's a 5-3 ball game and the best has to be out there to win a Del Rice League championship?
It just kind of depends on where their thoughts are, I guess. Everybody on each team can contribute, so I guess we'll just have to see.
2-1 the count. The delivery by Lincoln Howard just misses the mark, high and outside. That's ball number 3. 3-1 is the count. Well, now my follow-up question to that is who exactly makes those decisions? Who's the designated managers of these teams, or is it kind of done by committee in a men's league?
No, each team does have their own coach. David Bentley is the coach of River Cities. Justin Kraft is the coach for Shope. I am the head coach, and Rob Robson is my coach for Desco. And for Glockner is Francisco Gonzalez.
So everybody's a player-manager. Cunningham just fouled one pitch out of play to remain alive. That made it a full count, and then he was just walked, so down to first base he goes, and a runner is on board for Team Shope. The leadoff man is on. And that will bring on Bradley G., the left fielder. Is that G or G? I've heard that 2 different ways. G. Ball 1 to Bradley G. Spelled G-E-E. Garrett Rollins on deck. No outs for Team Shope. The team named after Harry C. Shope. 5-3 here in the top half of the 8th inning. Ball number 2 is just delivered. Toss over to first base, runner back in time. Lincoln Howard continuing to work on the mound for the River Cities Builders. This pitch just misses the mark outside for ball number 3. So a 19-year-old pitcher on the mound. Most of the games he's played throughout his life have been 7 innings. Can he hold on for 2 more? He is going to deliver a strike, making the count 3-1. She awaits the pitch, swings away, and it is fouled out of play over near the football levee. And now the count is full. Bradley G., the number 7 batter, in the lineup for Team Shope. We are in the top half of the 8th inning on a beautiful sunny day at Ranch Rickey Park in Portsmouth. Here is ball number 4. So a rough start to this 8th inning for the River Cities Builders starting pitcher, a young man who has gone the entire distance up to this point. Little conversation getting set to take place at the mound. Lincoln Howard, the 19-year-old, has walked the first 2 batters he has faced here in the 8th inning. So now Team Shope has runners on first and second, no outs here in this inning. And here comes Garrett Rollins, the shortstop, batting in the number 8 slot. It is a little bit concerning, I would have to think, for the River Cities Builders when you're seeing batters at the tail end of the lineup getting walked with the top of the lineup, not that far off. First pitch to Rollins, low for a ball. We saw an inning or so ago with Team Shope pitcher Justin Kraft. He had issues finding the strike zone, and it looked like he was in trouble, and all of a sudden he rekindled his mojo, so to speak.
Yeah, I think at this point these pitchers are maybe starting to getting a little bit fatigued. Like you mentioned earlier, kind of gets away all at once sometimes. It's just a matter of maybe regrouping yourself and trying to reach down in the tank and see what else do you have left.
Rollins just fouled a ball out of play to left field. Now settles in and waits the 1-1 pitch. This one is going to be a base hit as it gets in between the shortstop and the third baseman. And now the bases are loaded after a single by Garrett Rollins. So Team Shope already ahead, 5-3, looking to add to the team advantage. And there are no outs here in the top half of the eighth inning. Catcher Alex Blevins is coming to the plate. Could the knockout punch be delivered by Alex Blevins? Here's the delivery. It's fouled back to the net. 1-1 the count. A very crucial part of today's game, it seems like we are witnessing at the moment. Making up a 2-run difference will be tough enough. If the deficit grows by much more than that, then the River Cities Builders team could be in serious trouble. The 0-1 pitch is outside for ball number 2. There's a strike. Painting the outside corner is Lincoln Howard. And the toss is going to get away from the River Cities Builders. It winds up in center field, and a runner will score. Caleb Cunningham crosses the plate, and that makes it 6-3. Was that a toss from the catcher down to second, or did it get by the pitcher?
I believe it was. I actually have my head down right there, but I believe it was a toss to second base.
Rollins is going to try and steal second, but it's going to be all for naught as Blevins fouls this one out of play. So this 3-run lead that Team Shope currently enjoys at 6-3, that equals the largest lead that Team Shope has had in this game. It was 4-1 a little earlier in the contest. There's a blast to center field, and it is going to be mishandled. The center fielder did a heck of a job trying to track it down, but just could not get there. Another run will score, and Garrett Rollins is going to woe up at third base. I think more so than the sun affecting the center fielder there, that was just geography. He had to go a long way for that one. Couldn't quite get there.
Just couldn't quite get there. Exactly right.
7-3 now the score. We still don't have an out, do we?
No, we do not.
So bring on the next batter, and that is the leadoff man, Matt Kraft. He will swing away for strike number 1. Matt Kraft has had an incredible game offensively. Boy, if you're the River Cities Builders, this is not the guy you want to see at the plate right now with runners on second and third and no outs here in the 8th inning. And Lincoln Howard dig out of this situation. This pitch, called that a ball, didn't they?
Yeah, it's that ball high.
1-1 now the count. Here's the 1-1 pitch. It is low for a ball. And Kraft sends this one to third base. Was that fair or foul? Looks like
Foul ball.
Foul ball, yeah. A lot of activity out there with the third baseman and the runner on third. But again, all for naught. And here's Matt Kraft swinging away, and he is down, striking out. Is that the first time in this game that he's not reached a base?
Yeah, second time.
Second time. Well, he's been really good offensively, but tip your cap to pitcher Lincoln Howard, sending him down on strikes. And that brings up Kerry Hall.
Justin Kraft.
I'm sorry, Justin Kraft, yes.
And
Going to intentionally walk him, it looks like?
yeah, intentional walk.
You guys use the Major League rules with that. Don't have to actually throw the 4 pitches. You just send him down. So here comes Terry Hall. first baseman. The base is loaded, and he sends this one to left field. It's going to be in there for a base hit, and another run will score. That is Rollins who crosses the plate, and that makes it 8-3. Team Shope putting some distance in between themselves and the River Cities Builders. Logan Crabtree coming to the plate now. We are in the top half of the 8th inning, and Team Shope has really blown this one open. The 2020 Del Rice League Championship. Talk taking place on the mound. Lincoln Howard is the pitcher. Jonathan McKenzie playing third base. Over there giving him some words of encouragement, I would think, as he gets ready to face Logan Crabtree. Bases loaded. Got the timeout. Do we have a pinch runner going in, perhaps? It looks like we had one go in, and now he's going back out. So a different pinch runner is going in. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's a Dakota Yates.
Cody Yates is not a small man.
They nicknamed him John Crook because he looks an awful lot like him. And he's a left-handed batter as well.
Logan Crabtree just took that first pitch. Ball outside. 1-0 the count. We know that's a ball. 2-0 is the count. That one missed high, actually more low and outside. So 2-0 is the count, I do believe, to Crabtree. His pitch is inside a ball. So Lincoln Howard is in jeopardy of walking a runner across the plate as the bases are loaded. And this pitch is hit to center. Crabtree giving this one a ride, and it is going to hit just shy of the warning track, bounce toward the fence. 1 run will score, 2 runs will score, and Crabtree is in standing with a 2-run stand-up double. That makes it 10-3. And not that we're necessarily close to it, Jason, but just to remind our listeners of the mercy rule here in the Del Rice League, is it 10 runs?
Well, for today, there is no mercy
rule. No
rule.
mercy today, all right.
But normally, I believe it's 10 runs after 5 innings.
We've got a pitching change. Lincoln Howard is going to leave the game here in the 8th inning. He really gave the River Cities Builders 7 very, very solid innings. But Team Shope, they started really hitting here in this 8th inning, and they have opened up a sizable 7-run lead, 10-7, and it looks like Isaiah Green is going to take to the mound now. He will take over pitching duties for the River Cities Builders, who stare at a 7-run deficit. Let's take a timeout while he tosses a few warm-up pitches. You're listening to the 2020 Del Rice League Championship game on Fox Portsmouth, AM 1260 and 95.7 FM.
The next time you need business cards that promote your company and your business, think Snyder Printing. When you shop local with Snyder Printing, you get quick, professional, and quality work. Remember, your local dollar spent with a local merchant benefits the community at large. Snyder Printing can generate great-looking signs, banners, and quality lettering, ideal for letting the world know about your business, project, school, or organization. Promoting your business? Contact Snyder Printing, 1552 Gallia Street, Portsmouth, phone 740-353-3947 or online at snyderprinting.com.
Around our area, there's a family name that's stamped of excellence in automotive repair, and that's Dean Niddle & Sons at 12th Street and Franklin Avenue right here in Portsmouth. At Dean Niddle & Sons, they perform complete engine and transmission repair, including all of your computer and electrical work, too. They'll even make arrangements to come and get your car or take you where you need to be after you drop it off. Great and affordable car service is just a phone call away. 353-1647. If you have a car issue today, call J.D. Niddle now instead of alongside the road tomorrow.
We are in the top of the 8th inning of the 2020 Del Rice League Championship game between Team Harry C. Shope and the River Cities Builders. Team Shope leads 10-3, and they have scored a large majority of those runs here in this inning. 1 out in the top half of the 8th inning. We have just had a pitching change. In the pitch now for River Cities Builders is Isaiah Green, a 21-year-old from Greenup, Kentucky. Runners on second and third. Team Shope Here is the pitch, and it is fouled out of play. Sean Milligan in the batter's box for Team Shope, trying to add to his team's lead. And a check swing. Did he go? He did. So that is going to be strike number 2. Here comes the 0-2 delivery by Isaiah Green. He kicks and deals. This one is low and outside for ball number 1. So 1-2 now, the count. Our broadcast today is being presented in part by the David Irie Foundation, the Desco Federal Credit Union, as well as the Melcher Hammer Funeral Home. Thank you so much for tuning in to the 2020 Del Rice League Championship game. Here is Milligan. He will hit this one to center field, and it is going to drop. In between the second baseman and the center fielder, another run will score. That is Yates, and that makes it 11-3. The runners on the corners now, first and third. After the single to center by Sean Milligan, and that will bring on Caleb Cunningham. If I'm not mistaken, Jason, Team Shope has batted around here in the 8th inning.
Yes, sir.
Yep, Cunningham led things off. He'll take strike number 1. Isaiah Green takes a glance over to the runner on first, now delivers, and this pitch is high for a ball. So the count now even at 1-1. This pitch will be fouled back for strike number 2. That makes the count 1-2. Score stands at 11-3 in favor of Team Shope, leading River City's Builders here in the Del Rice League Championship game. Team Shope, runners on first and third. And the pitch by Isaiah Green misses the mark. That's ball number 2. Count now even at 2-2. And here comes the 2-2 pitch by Isaiah Green. It's swung upon and missed. Caleb Cunningham goes down swinging. A nice pitch by Isaiah Green, and a good battle between those two. And that is out number 2 of this top half of the 8th inning, which has been an incredible inning for Team Shope and somewhat nightmarish for the River City's Builders. Roger Hall will make his first plate appearance. And Roger will swing for strike number 1. Boy, Roger's a big sports fan, isn't he?
Oh, definitely. He's been out here for a few years himself.
From South Webster, his daughter, Casey Hall, a very, very good basketball player, played for the Lady Jeeps and went on to, I believe, was it Presbyterian College? If I'm not mistaken, she played collegiate basketball. Was very good. Oh, Roger took a swing and lost the bat. He had taken strike 2, and then strike number 3 swung away, and the bat wound up about halfway between home plate and shortstop. So he goes down swinging, and that will bring his top half of an 8th inning to an end. Roger, if I'm not mistaken, is still currently an assistant basketball coach for the new Boston Glenwood boys basketball team. He has served in that role the last couple of seasons anyway. But he brings the top half of the 8th to an end, and we move on to the bottom of the 8th. River City's Builders has just 2 more at-bats to try to overcome an 8-run deficit as they trail Team Shope 11-3 here in the Del Rice League Championship game. Again, we do remind you the league sponsors this year include the likes of the River City's Builders and the family of Harry C. Shope, those 2 team sponsors represented here today in the championship contest. Also, the Desco Federal Credit Union, the Glockner family of dealerships, and the Atomic Credit Union, league sponsors in 2020. Our broadcast, in part, is being presented by the David Irie Foundation, the Desco Federal Credit Union, as well as the Melcher Hammer Funeral Home. We will get the bottom of the 8th inning underway when we return. This is the Del Rice League title game on Fox Portsmouth AM 1260 and 95.7 FM.
This is Jesse Johnson with Rich TV and Home Center. When's the last time you can say you had a good night's sleep? If your answer is too long, maybe it's time you change that mattress. Stop into Rich TV and Home Center and get a Restonic Comfort Care mattress to get the rest you deserve. Don't settle for more sleepless nights or help us around the corner at your locally owned hometown sleep center. Have more energy during the day by getting better sleep at night on a Restonic mattress. Come and see us and you'll be glad you did. That's the Rich TV and Home Center guarantee. 911 Gallia Street, downtown Portsmouth.
Rich's TV and Home Center.
bottom of the 8th inning, we go with Branch Rickey Park in the Del Rice League title game, where Team Harry C. Shope enjoys an 11-3 lead over the River Cities Builders. RCB coming to the plate. Kyle Martin is going to lead things off. 29-year-old from Greenup, Kentucky. Batting in the number 8 slot for River Cities Builders. He awaits the pitch. Here it comes, and it is swung upon, hit high toward left field, out of play, and the third baseman can't track it down despite a good effort. That was Logan Crabtree trying to get to it. Just unable to. So 0-1 now to count. On Kyle Martin. Justin Kraft continuing to work on the mound. Could he go the distance? Isaiah Green did a nice job for the River Cities Builders coming in there and shutting down things there in the top half of the 8th, for sure. Here is Justin Kraft. This pitch is off the mark, and that evens up the count. 1 ball, 1 strike. This pitch inside for ball number 2. Comes the 2-1 pitch, and it just misses the mark. Inside for ball number 3. Justin Kraft, the 35-year-old from South Webster. He attended Shawnee State University. He had 12 home runs in his 4-year career playing for the SSU Bears. He delivers a strike, making the count full. He attempted to play professional baseball. He was actually cut from a pair of Major League Baseball teams in spring training 2010, the Cardinals and the Marlins. Just to give it an effort is saying a lot, though, and Justin Kraft delivers strike number 3, and he was behind in that count and fought his way back. Don't know if everyone in that River Cities Builders dugout is in agreement with that call, but it is strike number 3, and that brings up Chuck Miraz. 1 away for the River Cities Builders. .64-year-old Chuck Miraz awaits the pitch. It's in there for a strike. And this one just misses the mark. Outside for ball number 1, evening the count at 1-1. 11-3 is the score. Team Shope leading the River Cities Builders. Miraz hits one to third. Crabtree fields it cleanly, tosses to first. Nice play for the putout. Logan Crabtree charged that ball and tossed it over quickly to first base for the out, and 2 are away here in the bottom of the 8th inning. We are going to the top of the lineup. And here's a guy that's been good this entire game on the offensive side, David Bentley, 31-year-old from Greenup, Kentucky, who attended Transylvania University and is a local branch manager at one of our local banks. He has played in the Del Rice League for 5 years. He has scored multiple runs in this contest for the River Cities Builders, and he will watch ball number 1 go by. Swing away at this one. It is hit high behind the catcher, but he does a great job, does Alex Blevins, tracking that ball down, fighting the sun, and making the catch for out number 3. So the River Cities Builders go down, and we move on to the 9th inning. Team Shope leading 11-3. They are 1 inning away from the 2020 Del Rice League Championship. Our broadcast today, as we have mentioned multiple times, and we just can't say enough, is being made possible in part by the David Irie Foundation, the Desco Federal Credit Union, and the Melcher Hammer Funeral Home. Must be caffeine deprived today, Jason. Also, again, thanks to the league sponsors, River Cities Builders, the family of the late Harry C. Shope. We talked to a few of them a little earlier, the Desco Federal Credit Union, the Glockner family of dealerships, as well as the Atomic Credit Union. So the River Cities Builders take to the field, And Team Shope is getting set to come to the plate. It's been a nice game thus far. It really has, even though the score has gotten a little lopsided here in the last 15 minutes or so. With everything that has been going on around the world, it's just nice to be out and about watching some baseball. It truly is. Real people here today and not cardboard cutouts. That's nice to see. Looks like everybody's practicing social distancing. The family's all together. Isaiah Green, who came in relief in the 8th inning, replacing Lincoln Howard, is going to stay out there for the River Cities Builders to pitch this 9th inning, or to at least start it out. And it looks like Mike Mershon is going to lead things off in this inning. Oh, check that. It's Garrett Rollins. Mike Mershon is on deck. So Rollins, the shortstop, settles in and takes ball number 1 inside. One the count. This one's in there for a strike. Again inside, but this one found the mark. 23-year-old Garrett Rollins swings away and does not connect. That is strike number 2. The South Webster High School graduate still resides in South Webster and works for ODOT. All number 2 delivered. So the count now even at 2-2 for Garrett Rollins as he and Isaiah Green continue to do battle here in the league championship game today, the Del Rice League title game. Team Shope ahead by 8 runs, 11-3. And this pitch is inside for a ball. So the count is full. Isaiah Green's delivery is foul-tipped by Rollins. Ooh, the catcher is down. He's now sitting up. That is Jefferson, the 17-year-old, which I do believe is the youngest player on the field of today's game. And he is up on his feet now, being brushed off by one of the ups, and not feeling too great at the moment, but I believe he is going to live and is going to stay in the game. So we should be ready to resume play here in just a moment. Good to see Jefferson is A-OK. Corey Jefferson, the 17-year-old from Paintsville High School. He's good to go, and we are set to resume play. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Garrett Rollins in the batter's box. Here comes Isaiah Green's pitch. This one is hit right back at Green. He could not make the catch, but Rollins is going to say, you got it. You stayed with it, and Green will toss him out. So that is out number 1 here in the top of the 9th inning. Bring on Mershon. Is this his first at bat, Jason?
Yeah.
I think he got in as a pinch runner a little earlier, but first at bat.
He's batting for our Blevins.
And the pitch is the ball. The 1-0 pitch. It is just off target. 2-0 now the count to Mike Mershon. Isaiah Green's getting them right over the plate, but they're either too low, as were the first pitches, or too high, as was this last one. 3-0 the count, and this pitch is going to be in there for a strike. 3-1 the count now. 1 out. 11-3 the score. Team Shope leads. Isaiah Green, the 3-1 delivery. It is off target, outside, and that is ball number 4. Mike Mershon will take his base. So to the top of the lineup we go. Matt Kraft, who struck out in his last at bat, but who was very, very good earlier in the game offensively, the center fielder. He will take to the batter's box. I believe this is the first time he has faced Isaiah Green. It was Lincoln Howard the times before, and Isaiah Green's first pitch is strike number 1. We're in the top half of the ninth inning. Coming down the home stretch. Strike number 2 delivered by Isaiah Green. 0-2 now the count to Matt Kraft. And the 0-2 pitch is low. A ball. Jefferson had to track down the ball. It got away from him. He throws over to second base as the runner was trying to get there, and he is unable to do so. That is going to be out number 2. Corey Jefferson, who was shaken up a little bit earlier in the inning, stayed with it and was able to toss the ball down to second base for the second out. So a nice idea by Mike Mershon trying to hustle down to second, but it did not work out. Here's Matt Kraft. He'll hit to shortstop, and the shortstop tosses it over to first base for the putout, and that will do it for Team Shope here in the top half of the ninth inning. Even though Team Shope goes down here in the top half of the ninth inning, they are just 3 outs away from capturing the Del Rice League Championship as they lead the River Cities Builders 11-3. RCB coming to the plate. They've got very few opportunities to try to overcome this 8-run deficit. We'll take a timeout, come back, and see if they can do it. This is the Del Rice League title game on Fox Portsmouth, AM 1260 and 95.7 FM.
Business insurance. It's not just about the bricks and mortar and inventory. It's about the people who rely on the business, the customers, the employees, and you. As an independent agent, we can tailor a program that's just right for you. Invest in safe, sound, secure insurance protection from Auto Owners Insurance, the no-problem people.
Call Hunter Williams Insurance at 354-3124 or stop by and see Mark Hunter at 837 6th Street, Portsmouth.
So, last 3 outs for the River Cities Builders, perhaps. They trail Team Shope 11-3 in the 2020 Del Rice League Championship game, being presented in part by the David Irie Foundation, the Desco Federal Credit Union, and the Melcher Hammer Funeral Home. Also, a big thanks once again to the 2020 Del Rice League sponsors, which include River Cities Builders, the family of Harry C. Shope, the Desco Federal Credit Union, the Glockner family of dealerships, as well as the Atomic Credit Union. So we are set to begin the bottom half of the ninth. Let's see if there's an 8-run play somewhere in the River Cities Builders playbook. Looks like leading off this inning, which could be the final inning of the game, is Gunnar Preston, a 19-year-old from Paintsville. We've not seen him tonight. And he will take ball number 1. Here's the pitch. It is strike number 1. So the count is now even. 1 ball and 1 strike. Justin Kraft, the Team Show pitcher, trying to go the distance in today's championship game. Here's his kick and pitch, and it is swung upon by Preston. He does not connect. That is strike number 2. So 1-2 now the count. And this pitch is fouled back. Count remains 1-2 for 19-year-old Gunnar Preston. Boy, it would be quite a feat if Kraft can go the distance here today, Jason.
As far as looking like he probably will do that.
The 1-2 pitch is a bit outside. That's ball number 2, evening up the count. 2 balls, 2 strikes. No outs here in the bottom half of the ninth. And that changes with that swing right there as Gunnar Preston goes down swinging. Another strikeout for Justin Kraft. And now Team Shope is just 2 outs away from taking the Del Rice League title for the 2nd straight year. On comes 68 years young Bob Bryson. He steps into the batter's box. And a check swing by Bryson. Did he go? He did not. That will be ball number 1. Is Bryson talking smack to the pitcher, Justin Kraft?
Looks to me like he's pointing towards center field.
Bob's a retired teacher. He might have taught Justin Kraft's grandparents. Here's the pitch, and it is in there for a strike. So the count now even at 1-1. 1-1 pitch is high upstairs. That will be ball number 2. Bob, of course, still has his Field of Dreams over in the South Shore, Kentucky area, Schultz Creek. You've been out there, Jason?
Oh yeah, we've been playing a lot of our games out there and over here too. Well, we pretty much played our season out there, and then reserved the playoffs and everything for over here. We tried to come up with a little bit of money to put towards the Branch Rickey Ballpark, to keep up with the beauty of it. And like I mentioned earlier, we couldn't really get the funding that we normally do, so that's what we kind of chose to do, is play out there this year.
He's got a beautiful place out there, that is for sure. He just foul-tipped the ball, and it is 1-2. Bryson now, the 1-2 pitch is going to get a hit. 68-year-old Bob Bryson. He hits a fly ball to right field that falls just in between the second baseman and the right fielder, and Bryson is in there standing with the single. He gets a pat on the back from the team show first baseman and a high five from the umpire. I think everybody likes to see that. So Bryson is on board with his team trailing 11-3 here in the bottom half of the ninth inning. 1 out. And Jonathan McKenzie is now coming to the plate, and he is going to rip one deep to left center, and it is going to get in there. It went right in between the left fielder and the center fielder. They were struggling to find it in the sun, and it is going to be a base hit for McKenzie. And you just knew that he eventually was going to get a hold of one the right way. He has really sent some deep drives in foul territory to left field, and this one he lined out, and it was able to find the gap. McKenzie, a 20-year-old from Paintsville, Kentucky. Since his last at bat, it looks like his arms got bigger. I think he was doing some curls in the dugout. That dude works out. You can tell.
Oh, yeah.
You don't hit a baseball the way you just hit one if you don't up some weight. Bob Bryson is going to give way to a pinch runner, and the 68-year-old gets a nice round of applause as he heads to the dugout. It looks like entering the game to run for Bryson is going to be Chase Bass. Is that correct? Yes. So Chase Bass now stands at second with McKenzie on first. 1 out. And Corey Jefferson, the 17-year-old catcher, comes to the plate. Kind of cool that a 68-year-old just comes out of the game as a 17-year-old comes to the plate. So Corey Jefferson, he was shaken up while catching an inning or so ago, but he managed to fight through that, continue on, play on. Now he'll try to get it done at the plate. He will take ball number 1 from team show pitcher Justin Kraft. 1 out, 2 on, runners on first and second. 11-3 is the score. Team Shope in the field leads. We're in the bottom of the ninth inning. This is the last-ditch effort for the River Cities Builders. Corey Jefferson takes the 1-0 pitch, swings away, does not connect. That's strike number 1. Count now even. Isaiah Green on deck for the River Cities Builders. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. It is in there for a strike. Justin Kraft, the team show on the mound, trying to go the distance. Timeout. Oh. They just had an ejection. Is that kind of rare for a Del Rice League title game?
Yeah, it is. I'm sorry,
Oh, somebody in the River Cities Builders dugout didn't like that second strike call just moments ago, and that gentleman is gone. So the 1-2 count is what we're staring at as Justin Kraft gets set to deliver the pitch. Corey Jefferson, the 17-year-old catcher for the River Cities Builders, he will swing away, and that is strike number 3, out number 2. So now the River Cities Builders are down to their last out as Isaiah Green, who started out the game playing second base and then was moved to pitcher in the 8th inning, he steps into the batter's box, trying to keep his team's hopes alive and lengthen the game a little more. Runners on first and second. Kraft kicks, deals, and that pitch is a little high. It's ball number 1. Kraft on the rubber, digs in, looks. The pitch swung upon to center field. Is it going to find the gap? No, it is caught out there, and that is going to be the 3rd out. And for the 2nd straight year, Team Harry C. Shope has claimed the title in the Dale Rice League. They are your 2020 Dale Rice League champions. Congratulations to Team Shope. They defeat the River Cities Builders today at Branch Rickey Park by the final of 11-3. Good game, fun outing, beautiful afternoon. Quite a few folks out, and applause for both teams involved in today's game. The Dale Rice League made up of 4 teams this year. Congrats to all who participated. Let's take a time out. When we come back, again, we will acknowledge our champions, Team Harry C. Shope, tell you about the individual players which make up those rosters, and then call it a day here from Branch Rickey Park. Again, the final score, Team Shope wins it 11-3 over the River Cities Builders. You're tuned in to the Dale Rice League Championship game on Fox Portsmouth AM 1260 and 95.7 FM.
Route 140 in Slocum is the perfect way to start the day. The BP convenience store opens the doors at 5:30 with home-cooked breakfast, coffee, and that first smile of the day. Everything from groceries, pop candy, bread, milk, or fertilizer. They've even got an ATM for fast cash. Starting at 11 o'clock, enjoy delicious homemade pizza cooked to order. And remember, the BP convenience store will also deliver your home heating, fuel, and kerosene. Your one-stop shop for everything is the BP convenience store, Route 140 in Slocum, where it's good and green, both sides of the street.
As you do your part to help reduce the spread of COVID-19, SOMC is doing our part to make it simple for you to receive the health care you need. 740-356-CARE is now the one number to connect you to a variety of services. You can schedule a virtual visit with your primary care provider. You can also access a virtual visit with Urgent Care 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. 7 days a week, as well as get answers to questions regarding COVID-19 and related testing. 740-356-CARE from SOMC.
Eagle Loan Company of Ohio at 7th and Washington Streets in downtown Portsmouth is proud of the fact that they make loans to people, not credit scores. Whenever the need arises for a short-term consumer loan to cover your expenses, feel free to visit Eagle Loan at 702 Washington Street, where a helpful loan counselor is always available to discuss what you need to take care of household expenses and other day-to-day bills. Eagle Loan Company of Ohio understands what it takes to make a home run and the expenses that crop up. Stop by Eagle Loan Company or call 740-353-9015.
From the foundation to the doorknob, Portsmouth Building Supply has everything needed to build a home. Plumbing and electrical supply, drywall, shingles, insulation, doors, windows, steel I-beams, trusses, cabinets, ceramic tile, hardwood and laminate flooring. It's all at Portsmouth Building Supply. You'll even find a full line of hardware, and special orders are welcome. Locally owned and doing business for over 40 years, visit Portsmouth Building Supply, 1740 Gallia Street, Portsmouth.
People's Bank is proud to be at the table for many local businesses when it comes to strategic financial planning. People's Bank offers customized cash management solutions for your business that can help improve collections and lower operating costs. People's Bank offers big bank options to streamline your business with hometown service that won't break the bank. When it comes to the financial part of your business, count on People's Bank to help. They'll bring a track record of success along with them. People's Bank, member FDIC.
You have been tuned in to the 2020 Dale Rice League Championship game on Fox Portsmouth AM 1260 and 95.7 FM. I'm Chuck Greenslade throughout the broadcast. Jason Arms of the Dale Rice League has been flanked alongside me. It's been a pleasure to bring you today's contest. It has just gone final, and for the 2nd straight year, the team of Harry C. Shope has claimed the league championship. Today, they do it with a victory over the River Cities Builders. The final score, 11-3. Team Shope defeats the River Cities Builders. Our broadcast today has been presented in part by the David Irie Foundation, the Desco Federal Credit Union, and the Melcher Hammer Funeral Home. The 2020 league sponsors include River Cities Builders, the family of the late Harry C. Shope, the Desco Federal Credit Union, the Glockner family of dealerships, and the Atomic Credit Union. Congrats to the team of Harry C. Shope, a team that is made up this year of Logan Crabtree, a Lucasville native who graduated from Valley High School. He played very, very solid in today's contest. Also, Garrett Rollins from South Webster, who works for ODOT. He was solid, playing at shortstop throughout today. Good effort by Terry Hall, 43 years young, a South Webster native and an owner of Hall's Painting. He was very solid throughout this afternoon. Sean Milligan, a 37-year-old from Wheelersburg who graduated from Notre Dame High School and went on to Marshall University, currently a certified public accountant, father of 4. He is a member of the championship-winning team, as is Roger Hall, 53 years of age, a South Webster resident and a graduate of South Webster High School. He has been playing in the Del Rice League for 10 years. The catcher, Alex Blevins, a 21-year-old South Webster native who went to South Webster High School. He is a student at Shawnee State. He did very well today, especially behind the plate. Bradley G., 22-year-old from Minford. He attended South Webster High School. He's in the Carpenters Local Union, 437. He has been in the Del Rice League for 3 seasons, and he is soon to be a daddy. He did very, very well. So did Lonnie Kraft, 62 years of age is Lonnie. Went to South Webster High School, still lives in South Webster, works at the A plant. He has been around the Del Rice League since the 1970s. So Lonnie Kraft, a big, big fan of the Del Rice League, obviously. 18-year-old Caleb Cunningham is a member of the Team Shope roster. He's from South Webster. He is a welder, he says. He's been in the Del Rice League for 2 seasons. Mike Mershon, a 45-year-old from South Webster, went to Berea College, graduated from South Webster High School. He works for the Kenworth Truck Company. He has been in the Del Rice League for 3 years. He says one of his biggest accomplishments is finding a new sport after having hip replacement surgery. It didn't slow him down today. Congrats to Mike Mershon, a member of the winning team. 24-year-old Dakota Yates is a member of Team Shope. He's a South Webster native and a graduate of South Webster High School. He's an electrician. This was his first year in the league. And Matt Kraft, 38 years of age, from Cincinnati, currently resides in Cincinnati. He is a native of Scioto County, graduated from South Webster High School. He's a computer programmer after graduating from Shawnee State University, played some college ball with his brother, and he wanted me to be sure and say hello to his friends listening in the Queen City of Cincinnati. So a shout-out from Matt Kraft to all of his buddies back in Cincinnati. And also Justin Kraft, the winning pitcher today, 35 years of age, a South Webster native from South Webster High School, went to Shawnee State, is an IT engineer. He hit 12 home runs in his 4-year career at SSU and attempted to make a couple Major League ball clubs, gave it a good effort there, and he has just joined me in the press box. Justin, congratulations. You go the distance today, and you are the Del Rice League Championship Game player of the game, as you went 2 for 4 at the plate with a single and a double. You were also walked once. You scored twice, and on the mound, you struck out 9 River City's Builders batters. This was a good day at the ballpark.
Thanks a lot, man. Yep. I didn't know how much I can go to throw today. I've been battling some shoulder issues, and I don't know, just kind of started out easy and tried to get loose. We didn't have much pitching today, so I was kind of pacing myself a little bit, and luckily I was able to go the distance.
And that distance was 9 innings today, which is something a little unique for the championship game. The regular season games that you play are 7 innings in length, but that extra 2 innings, did that affect you a little bit?
You know, it didn't. Today everybody wanted to be here. Obviously, being on Saturday, we had more guys were able to show up. We didn't have to work and all that, but we had a little better defense out there with everybody here today. And even when we made a mistake, we didn't let it compound on it. We were able to get the next guy and get the inning over quick. So I saved a lot of pitches that way.
You had one moment in the game, I believe it was the 7th inning, where it looked like the arm might be going. I think you had at least 5 pitches that didn't find the mark. You walked the batter with 4 straight pitches, and then when the next batter came up, your first pitch to him was a ball, but then it just snapped right back. I mean, you refound it again. I thought that was pretty cool to observe.
Yeah, I was battling myself most of the day. I haven't thrown on that mound very much, so it was a little bit different yet. There's not a lot of slope on it, so it almost feels like you're throwing uphill. And if you get your arm lazy and drag him behind, it's easy to stay up in the zone. So, luckily I have my dad over there, and he's pointing out things to me. Like, hey, man, get on top of the ball. So it was nice, you have a pitching coach with me at all times, so that definitely helped.
Absolutely. When you see or observe arms start to go, especially as Jason Arms and I were talking a little bit earlier in the broadcast, at the local level, whether it be high school or men's basketball leagues, American Legion, whatever the case might be, how much of that is actually what's hanging on the shoulder as opposed to what's in between the ears?
Oh, I think it's between the ears. Every pitcher gets tired, and you feel yourself losing velocity, and you try to make up for it. So now you're opening your shoulder, your arm's dragging. So, yeah, it's definitely between the ears, and that's something you gotta be smart about. And, you're right, I was doing that, and luckily I was able to correct it. But I think more than anything, get back to the rhythm, take some off the fastball, don't overpower them. That whole team's really good hitters. You can't blow any of them away. You've got to pitch. So you got to get back to the basics.
One thing I've noticed about baseball players, especially local players, they have a love affair with the sport that is a little bit different than some of the others that I've noticed. And it's the same with females who play softball. And don't get me wrong, football players love their sport. Basketball players love their sport. But there's just something a little different about the passion, it seems like, that baseball and softball players have. They, in my years, I've noticed they would play every day, doubleheaders every day if they could. They just enjoy playing the game. And obviously, when we're seeing guys like Bob Bryson out here at 68 years old.
Oh, that was awesome.
Wasn't it, though?
That was
Get that
awesome.
hit?
That was
Yeah. And Chuck Mirage, at 64, and the list goes on and on. And you're 35, which is very young in comparison to some. But, I mean, it goes without saying, you guys obviously love to play the game.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And you just described my family and my friends perfect. Yeah, everybody in that dugout, we're all really good friends. We've been together forever. Most of us are family. And you're right, everybody loves to play ball. And it's awesome we have this league. We got to give Jason Arms a lot of credit for keeping this thing together. And give us a place to go play and give you something to look forward to through the week. Get out on the weekend, play some ball, and we all enjoy it. It's fun to compete, especially play a team like that, man. That's fun. It's back and forth the whole way. You're facing another good pitcher, which I think he's throwing in college right now.
Mm-hmm.
That was fun. That's what we like.
How much more enjoyment did it bring to your life in general, just with all the craziness that's been going on with the coronavirus and everything else? Not a lot of sports going on up until just here in the last couple of weeks, and still a lot of uncertainty regarding football. But you guys were able to kind of escape from that, step away from it, come out here in between the diamonds and do your thing. That probably had to be a great escape for you.
Absolutely, man. And, we got to thank Bob Bryson so much. Like, he gave us a place to play, when things are crazy right now. So and he lets us come over here and play for free. He gets the field ready for us. He gives us a place to go play. Through the week, we all have kids. They're in school. We don't know. Everybody's, everything's getting shut down. You got to worry about everything. And we can kind of relax on the weekends and play ball. And that's a lot of fun.
Well, you brought your A game today. Congratulations, Justin, the winning pitcher. Again, a great offensive performance, going 2 for 4 and scoring a couple runs, striking out 9 of the batters you faced from the defensive side. A win today, 11-3 over the River Cities Builders, and you helped Team Harry C. Shope do it for the second straight year.
I appreciate it, man. Thanks a lot.
All right, buddy. Thank you. Appreciate you coming up and joining me. That is Justin Kraft, the winning pitcher today. And as I had mentioned, his team, Team Harry C. Shope, gets the victory for the second straight year in the Del Rice League title game. 11-3 is the final score. Congratulations to Team Shope, and also kudos to the River Cities Builders for a great effort displayed here today, and also props to the other teams in the league, Team Glockner and Team Desco, the 4 teams that made up the 2020 Del Rice League. For the third straight year, we've had the pleasure of being here and broadcasting this game, and Jason Arms has been a big reason as to why, and he was here throughout the broadcast helping with the stats and providing some clarity when we had some players with duplicate numbers and so on and so forth, and it was a pleasure to work today's game with him. We hope that you enjoyed listening as much as we enjoyed bringing it to you. That is going to do it for us today. We had John and Kyle back in studio control. Our game sponsors today, once again, the David Irie Foundation and the Desco Federal Credit Union, along with the Melcher Hammer Funeral Home. Big thank you to them. And again, thanks to each and every one of you for listening. The final score, Team Harry C. Shope defeats the River Cities Builders 11-3 in the 2020 Del Rice League Championship game. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, everyone. I'm Chuck Greenslade. So long.
The preceding was a special presentation of local sports on Fox Portsmouth AM 1260 and 95.7 FM WNXT Portsmouth. Now stay tuned for our regularly scheduled programming.